Teams, Meet, whatever. And he said, just send me the link. I sent the link via email for you and for Sadeghipour as well. Did you get the email in email or just the link?
Do you mean for the Teams meeting?
Yes.
Yeah, I got the link as well on email. I got it on email. It's sent to me.
Yeah, that worked.
See this.
How is your foot?
Yeah, like it doesn't hurt. I told you before. Oh, I think he's here.
Hello, Salam.
Hey, how are you?
Hello, Dr. Sadeghipour. Salam alaikum.
Salam. I have to turn on my camera. Now you can see me.
Yes. Nice to see you, Dr. Sadeghipour.
You are welcome. As I wrote you, I have already heard your video clip, and I think you have understood very well the essence of the issue of our objective, and also the complexity and the special aspect of testing of machine learning. The main idea is to find a kind of systematic testing method for generative AI. The PEON method can only be applied to classification systems. It means systems which, for example, object detection, or systems where our output domain has a limited size, and the task of the machine learning system is to map the inputs to one of the classes of the output set. For example, in object detection for autonomous driving, you can classify all the possible objects in 100 or 200 classes, persons, animals, other cars, and so on. And then the task of the machine learning system is to find out which class is the proper class of an input. And for such an input-output relation, you can set up an ontology, as you saw in the paper. There are a limited number of classes and their properties and relationships. But the problem of the generative AI, especially in the field of language, LLMs, is the infinite size of our domain, and also the input and output domain. Of course, in the other case, in the classification case, the input and output domains are also infinite, but you can partition the input domain in a meaningful way. But in the language, if you consider the language as a model, it is not possible to make such a partition. I think I have written in my first email that if you restrict your consideration to a specific domain. For example, manuals of technical systems or requirements specification of software. In this case, you have probably a bit more limited language, and based on this limited language, it may be, or it might be, I don't know, be possible to have a similar method like PEON. But in the general case, for example, ChatGPT or systems like that, where you have the complete size of the natural language, I would say it's impossible to find out such a method which can be applicable. Therefore, my idea is, I can say it is impossible that you in the term of your co-op you could find out a method and document it, or to try a solid, to try to find a solid mathematical foundation for it. I would say it may be possible to develop some ideas for systematic testing, which consider, as you correctly understood, the main point of testing of machine learning. The statistical aspect is very fundamental. It means a systematic testing method which considers the statistical aspect of machine learning. Probably it would be difficult to provide a mathematical foundation for it, but some systematic would be nice. And as said, only some ideas. Probably you could also make a research in the papers, in the recently published papers concerning quality assurance and testing of generative AI. I am sure in the case of classification AI, the method PEON is the most innovative one. You can't find any other method which could be so systematic as PEON. All the papers you see, they write it is complicated, it is not easy, and they suggest some rules of thumb. This could be also possible and useful, that you find out at first which rules of thumbs. I'm not sure if I translate it right from German in English. Faustregel, it is a rule which is rule of thumb. It means a rule which has no foundation, but only some common sense. This would be also a possible output of your work, some meaningful rules of thumb which help to quality assurance of generative AI, or and to make a research on in general the existing methods concerning quality assurance and testing of AI, and or to make some to develop some ideas concerning the systematic testing from your point of view. Okay, this was my introduction. I don't know if you have any question or any ideas, please.
The subject is really attractive and fascinating for both of us. We have already discussed about that, and I think we can work on that perfectly. And the references that you sent for us, both the paper and the links, were very useful. And yes, we are a good team, me and Adil. Adil is my young classmate. Actually, I am not maybe in this age. I am starting in this program, but most of my classmates, all of them are about 20, 22 years like Adil. Only I am 57 years old. But I'm very interested, and as I realized, many aspects of this subject are mathematical and statistical, and that makes me myself much more interested. Anyway, that would be a good good subject to work on that. Also, I wanted at the end to mention at your website, we realized that you have another project as well, which is about, we can discuss about that later, not related to
which project do you mean? Which project?
That is about exchanging medical data in clinical environment.
Medical environment?
Yes.
Is the screen frozen?
Of medical data in clinical environments.
Med CS 0.5.
Medical. Maybe I can translate it in Persian.
Yes, please.
تبادل اطلاعات پزشکی در محیط‌های همین بیمارستانی که از جنبه همین پرایوسی حفاظتی.
The name of the project is Med CS 0.5. And this is not yes, machine learning is also used in this project, but not by our company, a project partner. This is a university in Germany. They detect the anomalies in the data communication in a medical environment. I can send you also information about this project. I guess they haven't published anything so far, but we have some presentations from the partner. I would ask them to permit me for sending it to you, and then I would do it in the next weeks. Yes, this is also machine learning, but this is not our task.
Yes. I said that is fascinating for us as well. I wanted to appreciate to give us this opportunity. I wanted to apologize. Yet we haven't sent our resume and the other things. But recent days we were very busy with the final exams, and also right after the final exams, the school closed for the New Year and Christmas holidays. Next week, again, the school will be open, and we can go and discuss about our co-op program with the supervisor and send all the related documents for your consideration.
Okay, because I wrote you because it is not my concern. It is I wrote it to you for your
yes,
because you need at the end of co-op also. So I guess some confirmation from us, or probably some contract. I don't know. Because in Germany, if a student makes a co-op at the beginning of the co-op, the student should make a contract with the company where the co-op is accomplished. I don't know what are the rules in Canada.
For the co-op program, our co-op, Adil, as I remember, it might be started at the end of
so around May time.
April. End of April, yes?
Start of May, end of April. Yeah, that's when it should start.
Yes, for 4 months. But anyway, we have to apply for that earlier and in advance and send them the documentations and inform them. Yes, this is the rule of the school. They may know about our plan and everything. Formally, it will be a start at May or end of April. But
start, not end. To start.
No, a start. To be a start.
He said start at the end of the month of April, like that.
Okay.
But we in this semester, for the winter semester, we have courses. We can work on the project during this semester part-time. During that time, we can work on that full-time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is my idea, and I think Adil is agree with me.
Yeah. Okay. I just wanted to clarify with you about what you meant by systematic testing of the large language models. Do you mean like the benchmarks that they have already, like the MMLU or the big code benchmark or the human eval benchmark by systematic testing?
You mean the traditional software testing systems?
The ones that they made just for language models. Like on Hugging Face, they have a benchmark tester, and they compare different models with each other, like Claude, Meta, LLaMA model, Gemini.
You mean LLM?
Yeah, LLM testing. Just for natural language processing, they've made specific benchmarks to test the performance, their coding performance, the ability to detect sentence structure, grammar structure, the needle in the haystack test, where you give it a large context window and you try to make it find the errors, 100K tokens, 200K tokens.
Okay.
So those are the existing ones that I know of. Is that what you mean?
Yes, I don't know them, but if you know them is very good, because it could be a base, and you could probably use them and develop them further, because I think I missed the statistical approach in many cases concerning testing of machine learning. This is very important, as you have already seen in the paper. It could be that there are benchmarks, and you could use these benchmarks and try in some way to make a statistical foundation for it, or to suggest how one can make statistical foundation for a benchmark. I must say it is not the statistical approach for testing.
I think the screen froze. Yeah. Connection got...
Should I do anything?
It should come back. Let me just say in the chat. maybe send a text message.
I have to find my... yes. Let me call.
Yeah, I think he's rejoining the call. Maybe he might leave and rejoin.
Or maybe I can call him by WhatsApp.
Yeah.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Is it not connecting? On your phone, did you make sure the headphones were disconnected?
الو
سلام آقای صادقی.
سلام علیکم. نمیدونم چطور شد که افتادم بیرون. الان دوباره سعی میکنم بیام.
بله گفتم اگر کاری هستش من بتونم انجام بدم چک میکنم.
من الان دوباره میام تو که شما منو بعد راه بدید.
چشم.
Is he joining back? Is he going to be joining back? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But I have to... Should I refresh the page?
No, you don't have to refresh. He'll just join back. I think one thing we could tell him about systematically testing the large language models is we can test the performance. So how fast it's responding. That's one way we can reliably measure across many different language models.
Actually, I didn't see this point that you were talking about. That is, can you explain it?
Yeah, so the thing that we did with PEONs on our podcast, he said that this type of technique is not going to work on language models like ChatGPT. This type of technique will only work on specific scenarios, like with object detection, like in the self-driving car scenario, as he said.
Yes.
But if we try to do it with language models, there's just way too many classes, too many concepts to put into a domain, like an ontology. So we have to find another method of systematic testing for for language models.
But he didn't say that we have to find it. He said that you can suggest it.
Yeah. Like he's saying the company is looking for ways to do it, and our job is to figure out how to try to solve this problem.
I think I have to admit.
Admit it. Yes.
Yes.
Oh, my video.
Welcome back.
Hi.
Yeah, I don't know what was the case. In any case, the gathering or finding proper statistical data is not easy. For example, the example you saw in the paper concerning persons, you can find a part of the data, the statistical data in the general statistical data which are published in each country.
Is that possible for some of the data to use the AI generated data?
This is yes. Then, I wanted to make an introduction that for classification machine learning system, it is not easy, and it is much more difficult for the generative AI, for large language models. Because I think the first problem there is to have to grasp your domain, because as I already said, it is in the case of object detection or similar classification system, there are some standard ways to make a partition in the input domain. But in the generative AI, especially in the case of language, it is very, very difficult or impossible. In general, I would say in the general case, it is impossible, because for all the questions which you could make to a generative AI systems about everything, it means you have to do with the whole possibilities of a natural language, and you cannot characterize this set. This is an infinite set, and I would say with an infinite possibilities to make partitions. For example, you could make different themes like politics, social issues, I don't know, education, and so on, and all daily issues and so on. And then in each category, you have also to make different categories. And I'm not sure whether such kind of partition would help you or would help me to make an ontology for such a system. Therefore, probably we have to make or to assume another approach for systematic testing of generative AI systems.
I have one idea related to this. We could test it based on the scalability of models and the latency, so how long they're taking to respond to your prompts. So for example, you can control for the parameter size. So you take 3 billion token models and you compare them, and you see for each the same prompt, you see how long they take to respond to that prompt, how many tokens they're outputting per second, how many tokens they're accepting, and then their memory recall, so how well they understand the prompt.
What do you mean by token? You mean?
Token is like the way the words are separated for the AI to understand. They're words, basically. Token is words.
Okay. You make a structure of the, for example, you make a question to the system, and this had the question has 20 words. You consider 20 tokens, and then could you repeat it? What?
Yeah, you see how long it takes for the model to respond to the question, how fast it's responding, how many tokens it's generating per second in response. So for example, Meta has their LLaMA models. They have the 30 billion token model, 70 billion, 405 billion. All of these models, they have different performance costs. So some models are slower if they're bigger, and the smaller models are faster and they can run on consumer graphics cards. So based on this, you can do some systematic testing of performance scalability.
Performance. But you mean performance testing, not functional testing, because what or the performance is also an important objective, but the main objective is functional testing, output-input relation.
So what about memory testing? So if you send it a big context, like tens of thousands of tokens, you test how well it can remember the information from that big context size.
Okay, and then?
And then you can compare it with different models. So maybe my model, if I send it 10,000 tokens, it can remember 80% of what I sent, but your model can remember 90%.
How would you measure the how many are remembered?
You would ask it questions later related to the original information. That would be constant, and you ask all the models the same questions. You give everything the same information, and then afterwards, after all the training is done, you ask it the questions.
Okay,
see if it can,
I see. Yes, this would be probably a nice idea. Yes. You have also to consider the how pragmatic the idea is, because a very large set of a very large test set, for example, 1 billion test cases, to handle them manually would be very difficult or impossible. In such a case, one should have also invent or develop some kind of automation to measure the as you said, how many are remembered. Okay, yes, this would be a good, nice idea. I think the direction is you are going is good. Would lead to an result.
Thanks.
I think so. I don't have any other thing to mention.
Then I've understood. I think I probably will, based on our first conversation, I had not correct imagination that you are going to begin your co-op immediately in the new year. But now I know the official start of the co-op would be at the end of April or beginning of May. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
But officially would be that time. But we are eager to start it as soon as possible, and we are working on that, and we will start and use all the references and work on the problem, and we'll be in touch with you to report our works and achievements. We can have a meeting like this.
Yes.
As you wish. Yes.
And your interim results, or the ideas you developed, or your findings. For example, as Adil said, the benchmarks of LLMs, or the new idea, how pragmatic it is, and so on.
Yes.
Okay, very, very nice. And I will ask my colleagues at the University of Cottbus concerning medical device data communication, the algorithms, or their methods, machine learning methods, to detect anomalies in the data communication. They have some presentations, and I will ask them whether I permit, they allow me to give the presentation further.
My apology. What was the name of the university? Cottbus.
Cottbus is a small city, 100 kilometers from Berlin, in East Germany. Cottbus, yes. Cottbus.
Yes, Cottbus.
Okay, thank you very much. It was very nice to know you. We know each other now also in person and with our faces, with our real faces. And I hope we can meet each other in the next year as soon as possible. In the case you have any questions or interim ideas and the results, we can make again a meeting.
I would appreciate you. Thanks for this meeting. And
thank you for that.
Anyway, as I mentioned, me and Adil will start to work on the project, and we'll deliver all the achievements and share with you as soon as possible.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
Thank
you. خدا شما خدا حافظ.
ممنون قربان شما. با شما در ارتباط هستم. خدا
حافظ.
خدا.
All right.